Hello folks, this is Steve with Disruptive Software. In this tutorial, we're going to learn some basic concepts when working with iCanScript. This tutorial was done on a Mac with OSS Mavericks and the following versions of Unity and iCanScript. If using a different platform or versions, things may appear differently. iCanScript is designed to help with scripting tasks related to your project by providing a visual alternative to simplify and accelerate Unity scripts. Visual scripts are great at summarizing complex interactions that would typically span multiple source files when implemented using textual scripts. Let's see how this works. For the first part of this tutorial, just sit back as we explain the concepts. Later in this video, we will let you know when it'll be time to start up Unity and follow along. There are several views in Unity and iCanScript. Let's start with the one we see in blue on the screen, the Visual Script Editor. This is the one you'll use the most. A visual script editor is much like this whiteboard we see now, instead of a text editor where we type code. And with iCanScript, we design with three fundamental building blocks: nodes, ports, and bindings. Let's visualize a scene with a cube in it. This cube is a Unity game object, and this cube contains an iCanScript component. Now, let's draw a node representing the update method. This is called for the cube once per frame. A node encapsulates various behaviors such as variables, algorithms, states, and even nested visual scripts or packages. And this particular type of node is called a message handler node. A message handler node is used to bridge a Unity message with your visual script. A node contains components, and in this case they are components of the game object, which is a cube. Cubes contain a transform, mesh, renders, and colliders. Ports are public interfaces to nodes. There is one for each component in our cube node, so we can access these components. Let's say we wanted to rotate the square. Rotate is an operation of the transform. Nodes can contain other nodes within them. So here's a separate node within update so that we can gain access to the rotate operation at every frame update. A binding defines relationships between ports and can connect an output port to an input port. Here is a binding between this cube transform and the transform operation. So there you have it, the basic building blocks of a visual script. Now let's review. A visual editor is a canvas in which visual scripts can be represented using nodes, ports, and bindings. A node is the primary ingredient. A node can contain variables, functions, algorithms, states, and other nodes. Ports are public interfaces to nodes and may contain data flow, control flow, or state transitions. Bindings define the relationships between ports. Did you get all that? If not, don't worry. We'll go through it one more time as we create these concepts in Unity. Now, for the hands-on portion. We suggest that you follow along for the rest of this video in Unity. Pause this video as needed and try each step on your own. First, if you have not already done so, you will need to install Unity and iCanScript. Please see a separate video on how to do so. For this tutorial, we're going to use the default layout. And here we are with Unity looking exactly like we left off in the install video. If you don't see the iCanScript components as we do here, the reason may be because iCanScript needs to be installed for each new project. If this is the case, go ahead and import the iCanScript package before continuing. Now, let's set up our layout to be able to work with iCanScript. We will most often work with the iCanScript Visual Editor, Instance Wizard, and Library View. Let's add them to our layout. Click on the Unity Windows tab, mouse down to iCanScript, and select Visual Editor. Let's add this next to Scene and Game. To do so, click on the Visual Editor tab and drag it next to the Scene and Games tab, and release. Now, let's add the Instance Wizard to our layout. Click on the Unity Windows tab, mouse down to iCanScript, and select Instance Wizard. Let's move this one next to the Unity Inspector. Let's do the same thing for the Library View and move it under the Unity hierarchy. So as we click on these tabs, there is not much to see yet. Let's create an iCanScript component in our scene. To do so, click Create under our scene hierarchy, and let's create a cube. Select the cube. There is still nothing in the visual editor. This is because we must first add the iCanScript component to the cube. To do so, select the cube, go to the Unity Inspector, and click the Add Component button. Now select iCanScript and Visual Script. The first time you do so, you may see a pop-up asking if you would like to purchase iCanScript or use a demo. You can use a demo for now. We can now see our visual editor view, and iCanScript automatically created the update node for you. This is the visual representation of the update method contained in every object that is called for each frame. Same as the one that is automatically created for you in the MonoBehavior class when creating a text script. If you don't need it, you can always delete this node. We can zoom into it using the zoom slider, or just press the F key to focus it on the screen. Go ahead and try it. Notice the ports are already created beside each component of cube. Let's try a very simple example, similar to the whiteboard example earlier in this video. We will use the cube transform rotate method to spin the cube. Just mouse over the transform port, click and drag it into the update node, and we can see the bindings, the white line, follow us. Now, let's find the rotate method that's part of the Unity engine. When you release the mouse, select Unity, then select Unity Engine, and then select Transform. We now see all the transform methods. Let's find rotate. Here they are, and there are several. Let's choose the one that accepts axis and angles as input. Now, let's make this rotate. We will go ahead and set the values. Let's try and rotate the cube around the x-axis. Select the port on Axis Rotate and go to the Unity Inspector. In the ICS Visual Script section, enter 1 for the x-axis. Now select the Angle Rotate port. Let's set it to 1 degree per frame. And voila! We have now created a rotating cube without a single line of code. Could it be that easy? Let's find out. Let's go to Scene and hit Run. Congratulations on your first visual script. If you have any feedback or issues with iCanScript, we would love to hear from you. To do so, just go to Help and Support on the iCanScript website or email us at support@icanscript.com. Thank you for watching.